Alright, so today we're going to be watching a segment from the Fox show Outnumbered, and this segment is a response to the recent cuts the Trump administration made to food stamp beneficiaries. So let's watch the video, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
188,000 people will lose access to food stamps. Those are a lot of people. Food is an immediate need, and I think that we should think a little more carefully before we revise a rule that would take hundreds of thousands of people off of a program that gives them daily access to food. That seems a bit cruel. I think that we should think a little more carefully before we do this and not just focus on AOC's incorrect tweet.
All it says is you need to go get a job. You need to go look for work or find work. And that's only 2% of the beneficiaries. It's 2% of the beneficiaries
that's a lot of
food
people,
stamps.
Dagan, and that's not easy for everyone. We had this conversation last week, Melissa. What role should government play in some of these programs? And I think it isn't just that easy to go get a job, even despite the low unemployment rate. These are real people who are getting access to food.
But I think it's difficult to incent people who are getting freebies to go out and get a job that is minimum wage part-time, that is a pain in the neck. But you have to go do it because that's the way back into the workforce and back up. And to say that they can stay home and collect food stamps, I don't think it is doing the compassionate thing for those people, because I think if they are able to go get a job, you need to motivate them to go do that, to feel better about themselves, to take care of themselves, to begin to work back into the workforce and move up. I think we're both saying a similar thing in that we're both saying we want to do the thing that's compassionate for the person, and we just disagree on what that is.
And this is
All right, so I wanted to talk about the host at the end and what she had to say about the program. So, just to start off, she's so close where she understands that the jobs that these people are going after are their minimum wage jobs. A lot of minimum wage jobs, they're not, in a lot of places, it's not a living wage. These aren't wages that people can, survive off of. And they're a lot of times they're difficult jobs. And so she understands that these are the kind of jobs that they're going for, but she feels that for some reason that unless these people are starving and unable to purchase food, then they won't pursue these jobs. It's just hard understanding her logic that just, why does somebody have to starve before they can look like that? They have to be at such a low point before they can go after a job that she acknowledges is not very good and is likely not going to pay very well. It just doesn't make sense. And it's just kind of piggybacking off of this whole concept that the people benefiting from food stamps are just kind of freeloaders, and that they're just, it's just some sort of nefarious thing where these people are actually like living the good life, and they're not working and they're just cashing in all these government checks, and that just couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, the people receiving these benefits, they're people who really need them. I mean, this is how these people pay for their food. And just the fact that she can acknowledge that even if these people were able to get a job, it's not going to be a job that is necessarily going to be enough to really provide for them. And so it doesn't make sense why you would want to take away the benefits of those individuals. And then just to go a little bit broader, this is all a part of this kind of idea of fiscal conservatism, where a lot of people, particularly on the right, will just make it seem like we need to cut, they'll say, oh, we need to cut government spending. Government spending, it's, way out of control. But they'll only cut programs that affect the people at the bottom. You never hear the fiscal conservatives arguing when Trump passes the largest military budget in the history of the country, a military budget that spends more than the next 10 countries below it on the military. When we pass this bloated military budget, you don't hear these fiscal conservatives coming out of the woodworks and, making their arguments. You never hear that. You never hear that with these It's never about that when it comes to fiscal conservatism. It's always about the people at the bottom. It's always about trying to cut off people, Medicare. It's always trying to cut off, access to food stamps, things like this, where people just have this illusion that the people that are getting these benefits are just somehow just hiding the fact that they're actually doing super well and they don't need these benefits. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And so this, just to go a little deeper into this specific, the cuts that the Trump administration has made. So about 700,000 people are going to be losing their access to food stamps. And this is a part of a wave of cuts to SNAP programs that the Trump administration is pursuing. And if all of them were to pass, millions of Americans would lose access to these benefits. And it's really unfortunate. And it just really, really goes to show why we need an administration who is going to fight for the bottom rung of people, for the people who need to be defended, for the people who don't have a voice. And I really believe that that's why we need to support Bernie Sanders. Everyone, we really need to get... Bernie Sanders is a once-in-a-lifetime candidate, and we need to get behind him because he's the only candidate who is going to fight for these people. He really is. He is going to make sure that people have access to healthcare, that people have access to housing, people have access to education, access to food stamps, access to the necessities, the bare necessities. That's all we're talking about. We just want people to be able to survive. We live in the wealthiest country in the world. We should be able to provide a living for our people where they can survive. And that's what a Bernie Sanders administration would do, which is why we all need to give Bernie Sanders our support. But anyway, thank you for watching. And if you disagree with anything I said, please leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear it. And yeah, thanks for watching.